equations. The only difference is now you don't just have a variable on one side of the equation, you have variables on both sides. Okay? So, the easiest way for us to deal with this, you have to move either the 3x or the 5x. You can't solve the equation if you have variables on both sides. You have to move the 3x or the 5x. My advice to you is to move the lighter weight. That's the way I think about it. So what would be the lighter weight out of 3x and 5x? Good, the 3x. Okay? Is 3x positive or negative? Positive. Positive. So the opposite would be to minus 3x from both sides. And I'm going to say this now because I see a lot of people making this mistake. The only time you do opposites is when you're dealing with opposite sides of the equation. If you have variables on the same side of the equation, you don't do opposites. You don't do opposites. Can we get to the front office? If you have...
Miss, I told them.
Just kidding. If you have variables on the same side of the equation, you just put them together, whether it's addition or subtraction or whatever. But if they're on opposite sides, that's when you do the opposite operation.
How about they're the same and they're like either?
Doesn't matter. If they're on opposite sides, you have to do the opposite operation.
How about
Yeah, if they're on opposite sides. Okay, so 3x minus 3x is 0. That cancels. You bring down the 4 plus 4. 5x take away 3x is 2x. Bring down the minus 10. Anybody lost yet? Tell me if you're lost. Tell me if you're lost. Okay? Then, this is just a regular two-step equation. Anybody know what to do next to solve, Diego? So you got to tell me, add 10 to both sides, right? Okay. Add 10. I'm teaching you math language. So that when you go in math classes, your teachers will understand you. That's what they want to hear. Add 10 to both sides. So you get 14 equals 2x. These cancel. Okay, what do I do next? Kalai.
Divide by 2.
Tell me math language.
Divide 2x.
Key phrase I'm looking for, Diana.
You divide 2. You divide 14 by 2.
you divide 2 and both sides.
Good. You divide both sides by 2, not 2x. Only 2. You don't want to mess with x. You want x to stay around. 14 divided by 2 is 7. These 2's cancel. Bring down your x. Easy, medium, hard.
Easy.
We shall see. Oh boy. Okay. Number 2. It's going to have a few steps. I'm going to warn you now. It's not hard, but you got to follow the steps. Okay? 5 times y minus 4 equals 7 times 2y plus 1. 5 times y minus 4 equals 7 times 2y plus 1. What is my first step? Tanisha. Good. Distribute the 5 inside the parentheses. And you get 5 times y equals 5y. 5 times minus 4 minus 20. Okay. And what else?
7
y, and 7 times plus 1 is plus 7. So far, so good? Okay, so now we have variables on both sides. Variables on both sides. I say move the lighter weight. So what do you think we're going to move? Charlie?
Subtract, no. Divide, no. Yeah, no.
Just tell me which one to move first.
5.
5y. Okay. Now it's positive.
Yes. What to subtract?
So
5y
subtract.
on both sides.
Good. 5y is positive. Don't let that subtraction sign fool you. That subtraction sign goes with the 20. 5y is positive, so you subtract 5y and you get 0. They cancel. Now what do I bring down? Negative 20. Good. Not just 20. 14y take away 5y. 9 what? 9. If you forget that y, you're in trouble. And then bring down plus 7. Anybody have a clue what's next? Diana? Good. Gotta raise your hand. You were right. Subtract 7. Did she say both sides?
Yes.
Okay. Negative 20 minus 7 is? Good. Bring down the 9y. These cancel. What's next? Diego. Good. Divide both sides by 9. Okay? So negative 27 divided by 9 is?
Negative 3.
And 9's canceled. Bring down your y. Any questions so far? So far, so good. Let's see what they got here. Oh boy. Whew. Okay, number 3. And this is probably the hardest one. 2a plus 3 equals 1/2 6 plus 4a. Okay? Now, what do you think I should do first? I don't need to draw that line yet. What should I do first? Darian.
Distribute the 1/2.
Very good.
Wrong.
Distribute the 1/2
Wrong.
inside the parentheses. No matter how many times you say it, Charlie, it's still right.
Don't you have to make 1/2 like a decimal?
You don't have to.
Distribute.
In algebra, it will help you if you learn how to work with fractions. You can, but remember I always say one of those things you'll need later on. This is one of those things you'll need later on. So if you get familiar with fractions, it'll help you later on. Look at it like this. I'm going to show you easy way, especially when it's 1/2. Real easy. What's 1/2 of 6?
3.
Of, in math, of means
Times.
times. So if you're doing 1/2 times 6, just say, what's 1/2 of 6? 3. See, because you know that. What's 1/2 of 4?
2.
2. So you got plus 2a. You don't get it? 1/2 times 6. That's what we're doing, right? I said times. In math, the word of means times. So if I ask you what's half of 6, you're going to tell me 3. That's 1/2 times 6. 3. Same thing. 1/2 of 4 is 2. Half times 4 is 2. 0.5 times 4 is 2, however you want to say it. Any questions so far? All right. I'm going to try my best to go to Walmart and buy some markers today, because this is pathetic.
If I go start the analytics still, like they're both 2A, so they're gonna cancel out the variable.
That's a good point.
It's 1 or 0.
0.
Let's see. So they're both 2A, so I can move either one, right? But I still have to do what? Subtract, right?
On both sides.
Okay, so I subtract 2A, cancel, I get 3 equals 3, and what happens over here? These cancel 2, right? There's 0. So this is what you have to ask yourself. When does 3 equal 3?
When it's by itself.
When does 3 not equal 3?
Never.
Never.
Oh.
3 always equals 3, right? 3 always equals 3. So your answer is X is called the set of all real numbers. That means any number you put in for X is going to work. Any number that you put in this equation, for A, not X.
So that's what we put on the test.
Yeah, this would be one of the answer choices, all real numbers.
That's wrong.
A is all real numbers. That means any number you put in there is going to work. And you didn't realize it because they switched it around on you, but you could have seen that right
I
here.
know, right? I seen that one.
It's the same thing on both sides. They just turned it around.
Oh.
2A plus 3, 3 plus 2A.
Isn't that what switches or something?
That's commutative property when you switch it. So you could have seen right there, it's the exact same thing. That's always going to be equal. So A is all real numbers. So what property? Because that's part of your objective to see the property. You guys didn't see it. What property is this? Commutative property. Write it in there on that step. That'll save you some work on the test. If you're able to identify, oh, that's commutative property. They're always going to be equal. You can stop right there, and you're done. Go on to the next problem. Got 2 more. Well, maybe 1 more. I think you got it. I think probably 1 more. Yeah, 1 more. 4x minus 5 equals 2 times 2x plus 1. Right? What's my first step? You guys have the hang of this. First step, Elsa? Okay, distribute the 2. So 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times plus 1? Plus 2. Okay, bring down 4x minus 5. Now,
-2 on both sides.
deal with the variables first.
Oh, you gotta use the 4 minus 4.
Minus 4x. You always want to get your variables done first. Okay, it's not wrong, but it's easier. Bring down the minus 5. What happens over here? It cancels out again. Bring down the plus 2. When does negative 5 equal 2?
Never.
Never. Never. So the answer to this is x equals no solution. This will never, ever, ever be equal. This equation will never be equal. Never, ever, 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 ever. Ever, ever. That's a property too. I can't remember it though. There was a property right here. You should have seen it. Anybody realize it?
Yeah, I've seen that.
This is the same and this is the same. So if you subtract 5 on this side and add 2 on this side, how are they going to be equal? If you have the same amount and on one side you go down 2 and the other side you go up 5, how are they going to be equal? Oh, well, sorry, go down 5, up 2. How are they going to be equal? Never. They're never going to be equal. Let me see. I think that property was in the last, in 2-3.
I just didn't show that to you. I know, right? That's what you know, right? Okay, that's what it is.
Okay.
No, I don't see it. Okay, anywho, page 114. You can cut me, cameraman. I want you to do